Time for a little weird movie story time. I feel like I've been doing this a lot recently. 47 Meters Down was originally called In the Deep and was supposed to be released on video on demand in early August via the distributor Dimension Films. Now, Dimension Films at the last minute sold the rights to the movie to Entertainment Studios. And then what happened was Entertainment Studios abruptly canceled the DVD and video on demand release and said, we're going to release this in the summer of 2017. Well, for some reason, DVD copies of In the Deep still exist, and they were honestly released in some parts of the country, making the DVD available and extremely rare. What relevance does this have? I thought it would be a good way to open the video. What's going on, guys? I'm Steve Pulaski, back and better than ever with another review of In the Deep, 47 Meters Down. Remember that. Directed by Johannes Roberts, who directed the movie The Other Side of the Door last year, the horror film, and he's working on The Strangers Part 2 at the moment. The film revolves around Claire Holt and Mandy Moore, those are two names you probably haven't heard in a while, as two sisters that go, that take a trip to Mexico. It was originally intended as a trip between Mandy Moore and her boyfriend with whom she broke up. So now the two are going out to Mexico by themselves, and Mandy Moore's kind of distraught about the whole breakup because she thinks that she's not exciting or that she's been boring her whole life. So her sister convinces her to go cage diving in the deep waters of this particular ocean. And what winds up happening then is they go out on a boat, and the captain is actually Matthew Modine, believe it or not. They go out on the boat, and they go under the water in this cage. They're only supposed to go about 5 meters down. And they go down there, they got all their pressure packs and everything, but the tether, the one widget of their tether winds up breaking, and it sends the cage 47 meters down indeed. So, as far as accuracy goes, I can't really say if that would happen, whether or not like they would live at that depth. I think they would, but I don't know if it would be, to that sort of longevity as the film kind of portrays. But the film, I will give credit, is realistically captured. For the first half of the film, as the women are on the ocean floor, they're struggling to conserve air. They have very limited air supply. They're trying to communicate with the ship above, but since they're so deep, they can't really communicate with their headsets. They have to go about 6 or 7 meters up in order to get like any adequate radio signal. So the film is basically largely takes place underwater and really revolves around Holt and Moore's survival tactics and trying to remain with a stable air supply and alive on the ocean floor. It's okay. It inevitably suffers from comparison to the film The Shallows that came out last year, the Blake Lively movie, which I really liked. I thought that was a really cool film. This one isn't as good as that, mainly because of the fact that this one is obviously a lot more flagrant with the emotions and whatever. It's not as like an individual exercise as it was for Blake Lively. It's more about Holt and Moore working off one another. For the most part, it's okay. It's passable. It's not really too much. It's not really too deep, if you will. But it's got moments that are at least somewhat engaging. The one thing that really kills me though is it misses the ball to have a great depressing ending, like a la The Mist, a la Frank Darabont's The Mist. But it misses the ball completely to try to give a more of a happy ending, which I didn't really care for. It's alright. It's pretty forgettable. It's, like I said, not as good as The Shallows. Really feels like it should have just been released on video on demand and on DVD back in August of 2016. I give 47 Meters Down a C- on Influx Magazine, 2.5 stars on my website. It's okay, not really too great or too memorable, but for the less demanding viewer of horror films and shark movies, it gets the job done. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next video review. Bye.